We're in all likelihood in the midst of the fifth major regime change in American history. This means we're living history. Similar to what has happened in previous periods, this gut-wrenching change is driven by a rising tide of concern that the social, cultural, economic, and political leadership of recent decades has somehow failed in important ways and is no longer steering America towards its best self. Now, previous regime changes have included, first, our founding, back in the period roughly from 1776 to 1800, when we fought the British for our freedom, and then we fought with each other over whether to follow a Hamiltonian conception of government that was based on British mercantilism and the so-called national interest, or alternatively, a Jeffersonian conception based on the idea of the preeminence of the individual over the state and the free market economic principles of Adam Smith that go hand in glove with this idea. Now, the second key regime change came during the Civil War in the 1860s, when the great stain of slavery forced the country to reconcile the beauty of our founding ideas with the evil institution of slavery that violated those ideas in the most profound way possible. The third regime change came in the Great Depression of the 1930s, when a failed understanding of the real causes of the worst downturn in America's history enabled new leadership to shift influence over the economy from the entrepreneurial and business classes to a so-called political brain trust that has accumulated ever more power in the decades since. And then the last and most recent regime change came in the 1960s, when the baby boom generation arose to challenge the older generation's ideas about everything from free speech to racial injustice to Vietnam to women's rights to religion and sexual mores.